I have this friend, her name's Amy. I went to college with her, and she's hysterical. She thinks she's a practical joker, and this is a story about her and a practical joke. It's hysterical. And I'm still friends with her to this day. When we first met, we hit it off right away. It's one of those things, like we just like sort of, we're friends, and we're still friends. Um, uh, just a little backstory. When this happened, we had not, nothing had happened, anything like that. We were just friends. And she was dating a friend of mine, and she dated a few friends of mine, actually. And let me describe Amy. Amy's a slight woman, and she's very cute. Like if there's the cute scale, it should be a 10. She's real cute. Tomboyish. Guys like to hang out with her because she is tomboyish. A small woman, not real chesty. Nice ass, nice figure, real cute. Guys' heads would turn, and if you start talking to the woman, then most guys are really going to be interested in her because she's funny. Actually, she thinks she's funny. And we in college, like we never, nothing happened. Nothing happened, which is sort of weird because I had a friend Ketchy, and I think maybe somebody else asked, "What's the deal with you two? Like, why aren't you up on that or something like that?" And I think my response was, "I don't know. You should ask her." So I was game, but I would never. I'm not gonna unless I think I don't want to be that guy that like I don't want to get turned down. And I could tell, like, she was at this, like, thing, like, I could never figure it out, to tell you the truth. Like, why are you sleeping with him? You should you should at least sleep with me once. We're friends, right? Like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, your friend, she's female and attractive. Why not? Whatever. So I was over at Amy's apartment. We'd been walking around, and we went up to her apartment. She had this dump that I'm sure her parents were paying for. That's what I think. Maybe not. Yeah, probably. And it was like this one bedroom off campus, and it had a kitchenette. And I have this habit of just opening up people's refrigerators and looking in. It's more than I'm just nosy. I'm real nosy. So it's a refrigerator. Who gives a shit? So I open it up and I'm looking in there, and I'm probably hungry at the time because it's college, and I probably hadn't eaten and probably been drinking beer. So I said, "Oh, look, you got food." And she said, "Oh yeah. Do you want something? I got some really good spaghetti sauce I made the other night. Let me heat some up for you." So I looked at the spaghetti sauce. It looked sort of strange. It had like shaved carrots in it, like real thinly shaved carrots. Like it was in a marinara sauce, and I said, "Sure, there's carrots in it." She's like, "Oh, it's great. You've never heard of that?" And I'm like, "No." She was telling me it was an old family recipe or some BS like that. So she heats up the spaghetti sauce, and I eat it. So it's on spaghetti. So there's like long spaghetti and long carrot in a red sauce, and it wasn't like horrible. It wasn't horrible. It was just sort of like, as I remember, the carrots weren't even cooked. The shaved carrots were just kind of in the sauce. And so I thought that was a little weird, and so we left. I think she was in the fibers department, and I'm sure she went back there to chuckle it up with her friends in the fiber department, which some of them I was friends with too, and I could see some of them going like, I'll get to it. But so I go back. As I remember, I went back to my house, the apartment that I shared with my friend, and I saw him, and I said to Scott, I was like, just over at Amy's, and she made me some spaghetti sauce, and it had carrots in it. It was really weird. And he goes, "Oh yeah, I've had that before. It's like it's okay, I guess," or something like that. He had never heard of it either. I mean, she was really like, "You've never heard of this?" "No, I haven't." "Okay." Amy's dad came into town, and they went out to dinner or something. Next time I see him, he comes like cruising across this field, going, "Hey, Peter, come here. You won't believe who I just met." And I said, "Who?" And he goes, "Amy's dad." And I said, "Yeah, how'd that go?" "How'd that go?" And he goes, "Well, you know who her dad's exactly alike?" And I said, "No, who?" And he goes, "You. You're the younger version of her dad, spot on, like everything, like your personalities, everything. You're exactly like her dad." And then I saw Amy later, and she said, I bet this guy, I'm not gonna say his name because then you could figure out who the Amy was. She said something like, I bet he told you." I said, "Yeah, but what's that mean?" He goes, "Well, he is. You're a lot like my dad." And so anyway, so Amy stays at the Art Institute. She graduates, and then when she graduates, she goes and works in some Asian country, maybe Korea or Japan or something like that. Stay in contact with her. Sometimes I get like a letter from her. Maybe it has a picture of her working with some nice Asian people or something. And we're friends. We never did anything. We're just friends. Whatever. How rude. It's very rude. And so then one day she calls me up in Kansas City. I'm in Kansas City. I'm living above this gallery, and she said, I'm coming in from Chicago. I'm driving down. Can I stay at your place?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But when she asked that, I was like, "Oh, she's coming here and she's gonna do me." And she did. She did. There's another story about that, but I don't want to get too far off track. But she sort of tore me up, or maybe the condom was too small, which is hard to believe, but it was too small, so I was like bruised or something. Thank God I don't have Peyronie's. I'll tell you what it was we didn't have any condoms, so we used, those balloons that you use for like they use in like the circus to make things out of, or like you get a clown for your kid's birthday. They're real tiny, and that's what we used. So she tore me up, and I remember it was the balloon was so small, and I remember like, what the hell is this? Like vagina dentata? What's up with this? I'm sorry, I got sidetracked there. But so we remained friends. We did it, and she moves back to wherever, and then one day I'm talking to her on the phone. And I have this habit of asking women things, And if I've slept with them, I'm more comfortable asking them these things that are important to me and important just to know because, right? So I'm like, do you own a device? She said, "No, I don't." By the way, she did tell me a story about using butter for lube. That's another story. So she says, "No, I don't." She says, "No, I don't. I don't need that. Why would I need that?" And I said, "Oh, so you don't?" And she, "No, I do, but I wouldn't buy anything like that." And I'm sort of confused at this point. I'm like, so, yeah, I mean, she could use her hand or whatever. Let's not get too graphic here, but I go, "Oh, really? So you have no interest in that?" And she said, "Well, no, there's other things that I'll use." And I said, "Well, like what?" And she goes, "Oh, well, I've used a carrot before." I said, "Really, a carrot?" And right? Crazy Amy. I can say her name. It's not her last name because there was more than one Amy at this school. And everybody at the school would think this is hysterical, right? So she says, no, I've used a carrot, and I'm thinking a big long carrot, like a skinny carrot. And she said, no, this thing, I bought it at this store, Clearly Nature's Own, and it was just, I just looked at it and it was like, that looks pretty good. So I guess it was the big giant carrot, I guess, or it was not the, the long skinny carrot, or the, the baby carrot. And, So she's telling me about using the, that's cool. And then I'm thinking what did you do when you were done with the carrot? She says to me, I fed it to you. And instantly I remember her crazy fucking spaghetti sauce with the carrots in it. And I'm like, you're bullshitting me. Still to this day, I don't know if she's fucking with my head. I don't think she is. I think she fed me her carrot. She's laughing. She's going, no, I did. I gave it to you. I fed it to you. Like she's really, and I'm like, no, tell me the truth. No, I'm telling you the truth. You ate it. Not only did I eat it, but my friend Scott had some of the carrot sauce. And I would imagine Crazy Amy was inviting all the boys at the Art Institute over for her crazy carrot sauce. It's like, I feel like I can't get a straight answer out of her too. Like, I think the straight answer is, yes, I fed you my carrot. We're still friends. I mean, it's not a deal breaker. It's just sort of like, insane. And recently I told a friend of mine this, a female friend, and she thought the story was hysterical too. Just like Amy. She goes, that is funny, like that. And then she proceeded to tell me that she didn't own a device. And so, once again, I'm like, well, what do you mean you don't own a device? And she said, well, I wouldn't buy anything electronic like that, electrical or whatever. I mean, you can make something. And right before that, she had said, didn't you find a device in your house? And I did. I found one in my attic. And what it was somebody had made it. And it was like, like an electric hair trimmer. And then they had like a screw coming off of it and like a ball on it. So when the thing went like this, it moved the ball. I was so flipped out by the damn thing. I was like, I'm going to show it on my channel, right? I put it in a plastic bag. I didn't know. I was skeeved out by it. I mean, if I knew that it was either one of these two broads that I'm talking about, the crazy carrot sauce Amy, or this other woman that talks about making her own device, I wouldn't have been skeeved out because they're both adorable. But that thing was gross, and I ended up like, it sat around for a while, and it was in the bag, and I was just like, I gotta throw that thing away. So I just threw it away because like I could tell the story and describe it. It was like a maroon one, like maybe made by Oster. That was the company of the Clipper, I think. Gross. So anyway, so I'm asking my friend that thinks that carrot sauce Amy, crazy carrot Amy, is funny. I'm like, well, what do you mean? What did you make it out of? And it was interesting that she wouldn't tell me the exact materials. Like she didn't, because I'm sure she'd be like, no, he'll think I'm insane. But she did tell me this, that tissue paper or toilet paper was used so that there were no rough edges. You hear what I'm saying? You don't want rough edges if you're gonna make a thing. I mean, don't they have stuff from like the it's not the Venus of Willendorf, that's something else. That's like a fertility idol. But haven't they found things that were made that they believed that's what they were for. So it does sort of make sense, like if nobody was around and you wanted to do that, you might make a device that was similar to that. And my friend was telling me about making the device. She said, this is what she said, when you're making it, you have to make sure that the shaft, that's the term that she used, shaft is sturdy. That's right. You're not with anybody and you still have the desire, you might make something with, what was the term, like a shaft, that a sturdy shaft, and you might use some toilet paper so that there's no rough edges. What? Like, did you, what rough edges? Why would you even like have anything with rough edges? I couldn't get any other materials out of her. She wouldn't tell me. But if I could get more information about the construction of it, I will. I'll report back to you. I don't know what to say about Crazy Amy, if she still goes to the vegetable crisper. By the way, she is somebody's mother, and he's her kid, so he's probably insane and probably going to be able to, not insane, but he's probably like his mom, so he'll probably be able to deal with this if he sees it. I told her I was going to make this video. She's like, okay, fine, just don't use my last name. Don't worry. Your last name's Amy. Your first name is Crazy Amy, or Insane Amy. But like the kid, he'd probably think it's hysterical too. I don't know. Is it hysterical? I feel like she was doing voodoo on everybody at the school. I'm a guy. You do that. It's like voodoo. Oh yeah. 6 years later. Yeah, I'm coming into town. I'm coming into town. Can I stay at your place? Yeah, you can. She didn't have to feed me the carrot sauce. That's what I'm saying. I would have done her anyway. I would have. Come on. We were friends and she was cute. That was rude of her not to do me back in the day. I'm not saying she was dating a friend of mine. I won't even say what his name is. She was dated a couple friends of mine. I'm not saying, but there were times when she wasn't dating anybody. What am I, chopped liver? Thanks. Well, thanks for getting around to it. Carrot Girl. That's my story about Crazy Amy. She's very talented, very funny, very smart. How's another very important factor with her? Dutch boy haircut. She looks good in a Dutch boy. She looks adorable. I remember her walking around Kansas City and stuff. She'd be like overalls, maybe not even a t-shirt, because she wasn't a big chesty girl. Maybe she had a t-shirt on. Maybe that's my own sick mind. Little Dutch boy haircut. It could have been any of the Amy's that we went to school with. So if you see this and you went to school with me and somebody named Amy, I'm not going to tell you who it was, but if you think of, well, god damn it, man, everybody at that school named Amy was insane. Pretty much. But there were a lot of people insane at that school, except me. I was sane. Daddy issues, all women have daddy issues, it's a fact. And daddy issues happens at any age. It doesn't matter if the woman's 23, 43, 53, or 63. All women have daddy issues. That's how it is. So they'll see, like, glimpses of their father in anybody that's male. And some people, they're going to see a whole lot more than others. So that was a factor, and I think that was a factor when we went to school that flipped her out. Like, oh my God, he's so much like my dad, I can't do him. So that's, I think, the reason why she's sort of rude. And it was rude, like, throw a guy a bone. No, what's the big deal? You don't have to call me little daddy or anything. It's no big deal. That's true. Even dudes and their mom, your mom, you're gonna see, and the people that you date, you're gonna see things that are similar. Oh, she reads a lot and she's super intelligent. this one's crazy like my mom, stuff like that. And you look for those things that make you comfortable, I think. What the hell? They just give in and they're like, oh, you're like my dad. Why not? See what I'm saying? That was Amy. That was Amy when we were in school.